Okay, Suspiria. This is a movie, ironically, that's older than myself, but when I mentioned that I review horror movies, almost everyone asks me if I've ever actually seen this movie. So, of course, I Netflixed it, and I actually had to watch it in two different sittings, because I watched part at night and part in the morning. And I'll be honest, this movie is undeniably vibrant in color. Huge contrast. You see movies nowadays, there's a lot more darker contrast, it's a lot more drab and dreary. This one, you have some of those moments, and then you have moments where the rooms are like bright, vibrant red and vibrant yellows, and rooms that have like pink and are ridiculously ornate. The setting for this is absolutely fantastic. Visually, this movie, for being 1977, is absolutely just stunning in the way that it looks. Just period. I mean, just every time been said, visually it's stunning. The sound is done very well. I have to say that. It is kind of jarring from time to time because the dialogue is primarily whispers. Whispers and overhearing things. And then when the music hits, the music is very loud and intense. And it almost kind of grates on your nerves, but it creates a phenomenal sense of tension. So, what is this movie actually about? You have an American dancer who's going to, I don't know if they really actually fully say, because it sounds like they're kind of speaking, like Eastern European bloc. She goes there to a dance school. On the night she goes there, someone gets murdered. This, of course, is the classic scene where it's referred to as the heart stab. And it's pretty violent and gruesome. Not by today's standards, but the way that it's done fairly slow. And given the atmosphere around it, and the huge color contrast between the way that it looks outside and the roof, where it's kind of a darkish blue, and like the bright stained glass window and all the colors coming around, it's done very, very well. So then most of the movie's kind of spent trying to figure out what happened to this girl, the two words that she said, what they actually mean in the grand scheme of things, as well as what is really going on there, because it's kind of creepy and kind of bizarre. But a lot of it, of course, is entirely spent dealing with the murder, the woman trying to find out what's going on, because if she's from a foreign country, trying to figure out some other things in this interaction between some of the other ballet dancers. So a lot of this is almost kind of like it's more thriller than just like hardcore over-the-top gore. So it's very much kind of like, it's almost kind of like if Hitchcock had brighter colors and blood, would be a good way to describe it. But don't think that that opening sequence with them being like violently killed is displayed throughout the whole movie. You only really see a couple of people actually killed. The ending is done very bizarre. I'm not going to give away too much more about the ending, but I mean this movie is good. This movie is like thriller good. Is it a true like horror slasher? No. This is undeniably stylized horror. And if you're in the mood for a really good, suspense thriller with a little bit of violence and gore thrown into it, by far, Suspiria is easily one of the ways to go.